Alright, so this is me commentating over a pre-recorded Let's Play of a new game, Lazer Rush. Sorry if I shared the tutorial things a bit longer. Just making sure that they don't go too quickly. Or also you could pause to read it if they don't think it was long enough. And forgive me throughout this playthrough if I don't talk for the entire thing. I'm not a big talker, and we got a lot of footage. So we're starting out with learning the basics, ladders and ledges. Sort of the active grabbing of the ladders and ledges has a good feel to it. There's something sort of similar to that in Jedi Fallen Order, and sort of like a later mechanic in Uncharted 4 that I really liked. Uncharted's climbing and shooting gameplay was a big inspiration of a lot of the stuff here. I don't feel that was enough utilized in the Uncharted series itself, so you gotta make your own game. We have the run system here. It's the sort of like the idea of like this initial sprint sort of models, like how if you're like running a gunfight, you'll put like most of your energy into that first couple seconds. I also got the enemy types here. They're kind of similar to the Cyber enemy types, but a 3D version. You guys are sort of like battle droids, sort of like little sort of like basic shooty guys. Again, like the Goombas of this game. We have melee combat, which sort of like the way you boost toward enemies when you stab is a lot like it's Commando Pro and the Call of Duties. The older ones, they don't have that anymore. And we also got the weapon parts, sort of like the idea of like sacrificing either your melee or shooting. And then you get like a nice little power. The autoplate's fun, it goes to all the enemies. And so like the idea of like the grenade's power based on the clip is kind of interesting. You have shielding to block, pretty simple. Originally more designed around the melee combat, but I don't feel like I did melee combat as well as I could have. I was hoping to get like a full like Arkham sort of feel, like integrated to the shooter, but that didn't really work out. But I still think it's alright. We got parrying, which is fun. I was sort of again going for a feel and Jedi Fallen Order of parrying the bullets, and that's fun. Also the pushing the lava, that's just pure fun, you know, not practical. And if you gotta play this game, you gotta learn to do jump shots, so we had that at the end. The stage starts off pretty simple. You get the chutes and the ladders. You know, the dumb little pun. Yeah, this first level, I was trying to be a bit very, you know, it's almost like an expanded tutorial of all the sort of situations you'll find in the game. Yeah, we got a nice big battle arena here. It actually ended up being one of the bigger ones. Oh, it's really spread out, so it's not too chaotic. This next section we got our first little real big platforming section. I always like the wall-to-wall feel. And that is big in part to Titanfall, which I also, the feel of double jump is very much going for the Titanfall feel. Another great shooter platformer, but also yet again didn't quite. It's good, but it's really good. It's my favorite game series, but I don't think it's. But I'm really trying to go for the shooter platforming elements that aren't expanded on as much in other games, because like it's usually a lot more separated. See, like even just at the end here, we got people shooting at you while you're climbing, which I always think is I think in the minds of big game developers, they're worried people are going to be frustrated because like, oh, I don't want to shoot and platform at the same time. But really that's some of the funnest moments, you know. It gives like a good action movie feel, where like you're always in this chaos and oh, you're hanging on the ledge, but you also got to shoot this guy right before you can climb up. I like this one. It's sort of got the guy in the towers. There's more getting right into the shooting. That shield, I was originally more thinking of it for melee combat. But I realized when I started making actual levels that it was a lot more vital to the platforming than I realized. So that's why in the tutorial I had it resemble more of a platforming section where I introduced the shield. And so now we're going back and showing the alternate paths. And I won't show every like tiny alternate path or a lot of the more mirrored ones. I will show some of the more different ones. Yeah, I feel that's a really important thing. Is you gotta get more choice, even though there's no real big difference. You know, it's not like you're gonna find an item here. It's like, you know, you gotta like, it keeps you from feeling so streamlined. Even though this is a pretty well linear game. Yeah, it's sort of jump grab on the ladders. Sort of like initially, you know, not really thinking about it, like, you know, when I started making the ladders, like, yeah, it's definitely a way more efficient way of climbing ladders, even though it doesn't really make sense. But it's just gotta work with it. I don't know if I could have balanced that more, or even if I really should have. We got the big moving platform section, trying to utilize all the mechanics, you know, to its fullest. So this one's the one where we talk about moving platforms. It's sort of the big open area and got all these elevators, and it's just this constant upward battle in this level. Well, upward and then downward. And a fun little piece you see at the end here. I initially kind of wanted to lighten the sound for the moving platforms, but yeah, I didn't really figure it work out. It's a video game, you don't even know why moving platforms move. In a way, that's kind of more sci-fi because, you know, you don't understand it. I don't know. And now we're up on the big elevator sequence. And it's sort of like, I always liked elevator sequences in the games. You know, it's sort of like you're trapped and you got all the enemies pouring in. Although a lot of them are sort of basically fake combat arenas and they got a fake moving background. But this one you're really going up. You know, and you got to deal with them as they're going up. So you have the verticality in here. And we got these guys dropping in. Didn't really work out how I wanted to, because a lot of times, like half the time they just explode because it's a glitch in the hitboxes where they go into the elevator. And there's a lava in the elevator to prevent you from just simply passing through it. An elevator, like say if it smushes you, represents you getting hurt by the elevator. The lava just explodes them, so that's why hitboxes are something that's still a bit of a struggle, even though I've been working in a while with games. I would have had more melee if it was more consistent. There's a better melee drop-in moment later in the game. Got another big combat arena. This is the first time you see like a lot of melee people. And there's a certain fun to, even though it's a little jank, like how quickly like the sword kills them, you know. And first rocket guy, you gotta rush those guys down. And now we get down. I like this sequence, it's really tight in with all the lava. You have the small platforms here, sort of this big downward spiral. And you got all the rocket guys shooting at you. I also sort of like how you have to occasionally go up a little. Got the big moving platform room. These moving platforms, you know, you got big, it's sort of like sort of at like a lot of grandiose with how many of them there are, and sort of like, oh, you gotta work your way over this giant moving puzzle. This last jump shot has a nice little feel to it. So it's like how you're just barely evading the lava. And then you get the second guy on the apex of the double jump. Now we got the big slide level. I also feel like slide mechanics aren't fully utilized in a lot of bigger games. Rarely do you ever like shooting someone as you're sliding, or at least, or even if you do, you like barely do you ever have to. And a lot of times you're also very on rails on a slide. It's a very, you don't really have to move that much. I think they're like really like way too worried about how people are going to get confused or die. Just because something's cinematic doesn't mean that you shouldn't be able to die. Like I sort of like that about Titanfall. Like, sort of how like the gameplay is cinematic, the base gameplay, and so like I'm sort of doing that with this, but even more like with in particular set pieces. And so we're going to show sort of basically going, even though this is one path, but technically really wide, so we show generally going left, generally going right. Yeah, one thing is that I had to realize was, that I had to do some modifications on the prefabs of the enemies. Like a lot of them shoot faster on the slopes. Like I had to get like faster version of the rockets that the rocket people shoot, because they're actually moving really fast on the slope, and so you had to accommodate for that. And the mines also like have to explode quicker. This is kind of the mirrored alternate pass one we show left. got the big jump and so one of those jumps that makes you sort of lean forward a bit, you know. And now this is one of the first close quarters thing, which I didn't do too much because when I started it was a bit newer. I started this project quite a while back, it was a couple years ago, and so I didn't have pathfinding. I've been working on and off, so that's why it's been so long. And so I was newer when I started, so I don't have real pathfinding, which I could, but it'd be a bit of work to reintegrate everything. So that's why this little close quarters combat is because they really just walk forward or backward. It really worked a lot with the level design to make sure that it doesn't stand out too much. And I also like that side wall, the wall jump at the entrance of the little house thing. Now we got these big bridges, and so I think it's sort of a fun layout there. Sort of like how this bridge, you know, like how like either side you enter, you got to build enemies on your side, but you also got to think about the ones on the other side. Again, pushing just for fun. One did fall into the lava on you know, they sort of like can push up against each other and fall in. I like this section. We got the little individual rails. It's sort of like a Sonic, I guess. Although I think in that game, Sonic, you sort of like just hit the stick and you move automatically. I'm talking about with more like cinematic gameplay that allows you to fail, because that makes like your accomplishments much bigger, Got a little nice two-shot there. Actually, the sort of all you usually do is just end up doing a little jump there, so you can hover and stay still, shoot those guys. And this is sort of just some fun, to push them into the lava crushers. Oh, yeah, again, no real purpose. I could just shoot these guys. And they can't just put them around because they'll just walk into it. Didn't get all the kills, although it is technically possible. It is just a bit awkward to do, not really the intended way, unless making your own little challenge around the game. Now this level is the one with the bit of frame rate issues. It's because of all the moving platforms, and there's like sort of like the ways to deal with it. But I was really late in making the game and don't want to work around like too much stuff that I've already done, and have to always worried about knock-on effects. Mainly here is the worst bit of it, with the frame drops. Also seemed to be something about the rockets that run a little slow. And I had to lower the render distance. There's more elegant ways to do it for sure. But again, about the knock-on effects, it's just nice little fog. It kind of works because like the next section's dark, so I don't know. It's a little more visual variety in a way, actually. Yeah, sort of like these little conveyor belt sections are sort of reminiscent of like the episode 2 Joy Factory scene. That was real fun when I was a kid. Sort of, the way it's sort of like all the danger around, and yeah, too bad there's never a Star Wars game like that. Oh, a Star Wars game that did kind of influence this game, there was a Star Wars Bounty Hunter. There's a bit of shooting platforming in that game, but the big thing is the shooting and like sort of like this chaotic feel to it, like you got always fighting like a ton of enemies in that game, and you do that a lot here. Also, like the checkpoint system is even a bit reminiscent of this. Well, in that one you had Lazer and you had to restart the entire level if you failed. So that was just kind of annoying. It also made that game way harder. Although probably not too bad as an adult. Or although, who knows, maybe it's one of those things where it's actually worse than you realize, but I don't know. But that was a good game. The new Guardians of the Galaxy game's kind of like that, a bit. The chaotic feel to it, and the shooting. These like sort of giant paddles with the lava on them aren't too dangerous on their own, but they do like force you to move certain ways. Now we're showing the left paths. Let's first get into that difference what the other one is. Yeah, I had to move a lot of platforms as well I wanted to have even more like doubles on the horizontal parts of on the little pathway here, but that wasn't really necessary, so I had to remove them. Now we got these little sandwiches of death threatening on the ladder. I actually nailed all 3 jump shots. I usually have to shoot at least one of them from the ladder. Could have recorded that. Also, a bit of notice that, yeah, I refer to the green bar in the tutorial as energy, but there was a prompt that says amount of stamina. Which is a bit, yeah, a bit conflicting, because originally I was thinking stamina, but then I ended up going with the sort of sci-fi sounds for the jumping and dashing and stuff, so it kind of makes more sense to say energy. I probably should have changed that. Now we got a pseudo open level. Sort of like you've seen these in a couple shooters campaigns, you know. Big area, you have to go get 3 things. You got this little hovercraft connecting all 3. I was originally like wanting to do like a full like little train. There'd be a lot more stuff around, but you know, you don't think about level design before you start doing it. Just how like how strenuous that can be. So I have to put everything in the scene, you know. A big bunch of them. Grenades aren't as useful as I hoped. Thing is, that the levels are really spread out. It had to be a ridiculous radius to compensate for that, but they're still useful time to time. Up on top of the hover cart, because why not? It's showing the little alternate entrance into the little house. And then so you don't have to wait for the hover cart to go all the way around back where you've been. Had this nice little shortcut. That only works one way. Now all 3 doors are open. And we're doing a bit of an American Ninja Warrior, if you've seen that. They hop back and forth on the platforms. Now we got final level dark. It's probably my favorite sequence in this level. The sentry on the left sometimes falls. Luckily he didn't in this run. Yeah, it's kind of weird because like he only occasionally falls when I run it on my main computer, but on my laptop he always falls. So I'm not sure quite how that works. So sorry if he does, but he's not the biggest enemy in the game, so. Got them coming down. That's a nice sort of You got melee dropping in, guys shooting at you. Nice mixed ranged. I like how mixed range is another thing I like to focus on. I like how it is in Dishonored. Sort of going for that feel. You can shooting and melee are both equal, or at least supposed to. Melee might be a bit stronger, but you do have to shoot on the platforming a lot. Got these little stalactites. Just kind of hoping to do a bit more with them. But you have to put them real far apart because of the double jump, so didn't do as much as I wanted. We also have that big obnoxious arrow. Bit worried that people wouldn't see where to go forward. Got one big climb. The final climbing section of the main game. Now we got a big hallway fight, sort of like the close quarter, maximize, sort of imitating like the Daredevil raid type thing. he gets presented with this big old giant door. And then we just got like one little base enemy that pops out. And it's sort of a joke, but also introduces the idea of, hey, they're gonna be chopping down. And now you got, sort of did this in a Lazer Rush as well, one of every enemy. Now we got our final boss, sorta. More just modified regular enemies. And we got like our fast one and not you, and the other guy shooting rockets at you a lot. And sort of a lesser orange scene and small. We got a real slow elevator to encourage you to not try to run past him. If you stay on here, and the rocket guy will just shoot you if you haven't killed him. So that's the main game, and now we got some little fun challenge levels. And a lot of these are sort of more obscure ideas, or also, but Leftovers more particular, it's the scrapped idea, the ideas that I couldn't quite fit in the main game. You got lava on platforms, so you have to move quickly. Got reverse conveyor belts. This is probably the best part of it. Sort of sliding down and forth down this hole. Sort of you gotta keep watching. Who knows where they're coming at, you know. The challenge levels are pretty short, but there's still some stuff in them, you know. Got 1 versus 60, and yeah, there's a sound issue with how many there are. It's not like broken, it just sounds really bad. With all the how many sound effects are playing over each other. Yeah, so we're sort of topping ourselves from 1 versus 20 in Lazer Rush. Yeah, it's just a lot of crowd management, you know. Although this level did sort of make me wonder if I should put more enemies in the main game. Like how much you gotta think in this one. The way these heavy gunners sort of trickle in is kind of an accident with this sort of stupid AI just pushing against the walls and slowly coming in. Although you can't head from the outside and go forward. I'll probably maybe detect. I figure the blade guys will start pouring in from the other side, so that works out. You gotta knock greedy and take a stab at the crowd before your shield recharges. Entering the second phase is a bit difficult because you got all these rocket guys, but just gotta be careful. And again, it's all about patience and being careful. Like that sort of management, you know, you can handle and challenge in a video game. And sort of like these levels are to sort of like show you, you know, just like how you can maximize your game, your abilities in a video game, you know. We're using shield, or using sprint, or using dodge, shooting and stabbing, you know. Keeping an eye on all your abilities. And then we just do a little final lap to make sure nobody else left except this guy. And then the door opens. And this last one's a little fun. These just sort of give you moon gravity. This bit sort of reminds me of the end of episode 1 with the big place with all the big energy tubes, platforms. I sort of wonder if I think I should have done a full level around moon gravity. And moon gravity is also sort of like a callback to like 90s. It was always like final levels of the moon or whatever. It's always into the space. The platforming for climbing isn't quite as good as the just regular jumping to different platforms. It's not really built for. I mean, well, maybe I could just make big, giant, goofy ladders. Been easier to hit. Although I do like this part, jumping in over the rocket guy. And got one little spiral using platforms left. After we kill the snipers. And so that is the game. And we also got our credits, which says I've done everything. I did the game design. I even did the music. Although outside, getting freesound.org stuff, and also, tutorials online, always helpful, and, you always need to learn new stuff, so always credit that. So that's pretty much it. Thank you for watching this, and if you haven't already, for some reason, watched all this entire thing, and haven't played Lazer Rush, go out there and play it. It's good. Anyway, that's it.